All right. I was made aware that I guess they're making a Karnovs Revenge. They're actually making a Karnovs Revenge fucking update. Or well, the community is, right. Of course the community, they've been doing this for a while, but no one told me. Okay. Although I guess I basically I was made aware, and then some people were talking about some of the changes I talked about, but I guess they didn't realize what I was saying, so I'll try to show them again or talk about them again. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty easy what I've talked about, but oh well. Anyway, I'll show some examples of the things I said I would change, at least with Mizoguchi. Boy, you know what? I have not had this game in almost like fucking God. It's been almost like 2 years since I've had this game, and it feels like. Anyway, so the basic changes I said with Mizoguchi is first of all, let's see, how do we do this? I would say his little kick hurt. Or wait, okay, I'm trying to hold down different buttons. I can't even. I cannot. I'm trying to hold down buttons. I'm trying to play with two hands at one time. So basically, I just said you should not be able to duck that second hit, and you could make it an overhead. Because the point is that, you know what, I don't like when moves don't have a use, right? So just say as the second hit, he just falls down and hits the guy. I just think that other dudes in the game just being able to duck it for free, it makes no sense. So he should fall down on the guy after he does it. You know what I mean? So the guy actually has to, like, if your opponent lets you go, if your opponent goes blah, 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 and they don't do anything, they deserve to have to block that last hit. You know what I mean? Especially in a game that has so many dragon punches all over the place. You know what I mean? Another change that I said I would change. Another change that I said I would change. Thing I said I would change. Oh my god, what's going on with this? Fuckity fuck shit. Okay. I said I would change as I try to hold two different things at one time. God, can I get? Can we up? Can we get? Can we get a bit higher quality on the FGC on NPC? I'm trying to hold this fucking button down to make sure I block. Okay. So you know how he does this? I think the last hit, when you do this, that last hit, so because in this game, if you know how this works, because it's a true combo on block, the guy would be able to block this no matter what, even if it's an overhead. But what I said is I would just make that last hit, make him give it enough, make it a frame slower or something like that. So there's actually a mix-up when the guy block. Oh my god! Dude, oh, I was like, looking. I'm sorry. I've literally never played this game in 2 years, and so I was like, what's going on with the power bar? It confused me. I didn't know that it does that in this training mode thing. I got confused. Weird. I thought there was like some kind of voodoo shit going on. Magic hocus, magic hocus pocus, where that shit is. Anyway, so basically, I was saying that that should be an overhead. So if the guy blocks, 3 hits, make the spin a little bit slower. So then the guy actually has to guess when you do an overhead or a. Why does it do that? It just the power bar is weird. So or lower or overhead. And again, I don't think that would be broken because the game everyone has such fucking fast DPs. So giving him a mix-up, a real mix-up off that would not be weird. Also, I said, in this game, generally speaking, when you anti-air the guy, nothing knocks you down. The guy always flips up. So I was saying that the big blue DP, you should add a property that if that move actually hits you in the air, it's a hard knockdown, right? Like, I think if that move actually anti-airs you, well, oh my god, I'm trying to play with two hands playing on different controllers. I think that that should actually anti-air you, or when it anti-airs you, you should get knocked down. You know what I mean? And then I said that I would put in a very, very basic sort of juggle system in the game, a very, very basic juggle system. I don't know how you would program it, but maybe every character would have one move that might juggle or something like that. So for Mizoguchi, I would say that something like that would be his juggle move. So say just, and imagine if Karnov was doing a balloon. Sometimes you do use Mizoguchi's duck hard punch as an anti-air. So in those kind of situations, if you hit this, boom, that would hit the guy and it would juggle. You know what I mean? You could almost think of it, and again, when I talk about how I would change games or whatever like that, I try to come at it from the perspective of keeping the game kind of similar as much as you can while adding a new spin on it. So I guess in that sense, what this would probably work like is in some King of Fighter games, when I theorize it, some moves have a automatic juggle property. So I guess in that sense, you would have certain characters have moves that have automatic juggle properties, but maybe give them only a juggle point of 1 or something like that. So that's why I theorize like that, because I always say Karnov's balloon is not something that I would tone down. I think Karnov's balloon is cool. And I actually don't think it's broken per se. So again, Mizoguchi, that's a counter. You use duck hard punch to beat balloon. So imagine Mizoguchi now versus Karnov. If he goes boom, he hits the balloon, boom, and that hits. And he gets just a smidge more damage, and he actually gets the hard knockdown. Okay? Then, of course, as well, if you were to hit something like this, if you're actually to hit something like that and the guy flies up, yeah, you deserve to get just a smidge bit more damage. If you hit a full hurricane kick like that, like boom, you deserve just to get a smidge more damage, I think, like that, right? And then basically the other point that I was saying for Mizoguchi, what I'd change, because a lot of people say he should get a much faster fireball because his fireball sucks so much. I wouldn't change anything like that really, because characters need strengths and weaknesses. So Mizoguchi having a super slow fucking fireball doesn't bother me. I mean, I would not change it besides maybe you could say a frame more. You could say hard punch fireball maybe has a frame faster startup. Maybe slow punch fireball has a frame quicker recovery. But in general, Mizoguchi having a bad fireball doesn't bother me. Plus, if you actually think about it in the meta of the game, Mizoguchi actually has his hurt box is pretty low. Like, it goes under Ray's wheel kick. It goes under unless you do as low as possible, Yumi's fireball, Tiger Knee fireball. So I don't think Mizoguchi should start having a fast fireball. Again, if you want to give it a frame faster for the fast fireball and a frame quicker recovery for the slow fireball, that's okay. That wouldn't bother me. But the one change I said that I would give Mizoguchi, and I think this is an interesting change, is I would change the way his big fireball works, right? So if we do big fireball like that, right? Boom. Hits the guy like that. It's very slow, right? And wow, that does 80 damage, it says. So you want to know what I would do? I would say if you hold down the buttons like that, he doesn't throw out the fireball, okay? So it's like a charge. So then basically imagine you do something like this, boom, and then he gets like a free charge. And see, he would even still be at the disadvantage if you look when the guy stands up. Boom, boom. The guy's standing up, you know what I mean? So he wouldn't be able to do that in the corner or anything. So you'd be able to punish him. But imagine, right before he throws the fireball, if you keep holding it down, the fireball doesn't come out. And then the next time in the match, when you do this motion, it comes out like a regular fireball, but it's the big one, okay? But I would say that it only does half the damage as normal, right? And I think that would be so fun because you keep Mizoguchi having a bad fireball, quotation marks, bad fireball. He has a slow fireball, but if in the match, he has basically 2 opportunities to do this, right? Because normally you're only doing hard punch throw. You know what I mean? Because you're going to do hurricane kick mix up, blah, 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 decide what side I'm going to go on, blah, 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 blah. Or you're doing that kind of cross up thing, right? But this gives him an opportunity. Oh, I do kick throw. Now maybe I can actually, and see, you can almost get him there even. But if the guy is slow, and plus you might let it go too. You might let it rip as well, right? You might let it rip. But now his kick throw, you know what I mean? He throws the guy across the screen. Maybe you can charge it up. So then he gets the big fucking fireball. And then since it's charged up, the next time he does a regular fireball, if you press the 4 buttons, he shoots the big fireball. And it goes through the other character's fireball. Plus, that would give him fucking crazy fucking... Can you imagine doing that? Then doing that, and it comes out as a regular fireball. Boom, it hits that. Boom, it hits that. Boom, boom, boom. You do another combo. Then in this version of the game, if he's in the corner, you don't have to do that. The hard punch, you could do like, let that rip. Do a little bit of a juggle. You know what I mean? So then that keeps these kind of hurricane kick juggle links for doing that. You know what I mean? I think that would be fun. Plus, I actually would say what I would do too. Because you can charge up, get a charge up off the hard kick throw, I would say the hard kick throw, let him recover a little bit faster and make the hard kick throw like a no damage throw or a 1-point damage throw. You know what I mean? Because then it gives it like, you don't need it to do full damage. Make it like a 1-point damage throw or something like that. But he gets a charge up off it. Or since he recovers off of that, he gets a very random, if he combos you in the corner, because normally, again, you're going to do this. So why would you do kick throw then in the corner? Because kick throw, you can tag the guy as if I could. Again, these controllers are broken. I'm sorry. You could tag the guy with that for a little bit of extra damage. Those are the basic ideas of what I would do to change Mizoguchi in this game. You know what I mean? Remember, if you liked the video, and I could show with other characters what I've said before. Man, I can't believe I haven't played this game in like 2 years. That's fucking crazy, dude. Man, it's been like 2 years. And of course, you could probably change some normals too, but that's more of a, I would think about, how would I fiddle a little bit. I'm getting with the general ideas of what I would change with Mizoguchi. But I think those ideas are fun. I mean, just think about the gameplay. You actually switch up the character and you give him a different idea instead of like doing, all hurricane kick cross-ups. Now there's a mind game like, maybe I'm going to give a little bit of damage here because now I want to charge up my fireball. You know what I mean? Like, oh, now the guy has to be careful about throwing fireballs because I get a big fireball for fast. Again, it won't do 80 damage like that. Make it only do like 40 or something because I think that would be too good. But that would be cool because it gives him a different spin on neutral. You're adding these moves that don't have a lot of use. You basically use that move to go over a fireball. But now at least if I go over the fireball, the opponent has to respect if I keep doing it or not, right? You've given him a little bit of a different anti-air, kind of ability, right? Those are the things I would change with Mizoguchi. The general idea, Anyway, remember if you like videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. The end.